Hello students, so in this video let's complete August month Vision Current Affairs full polity and governance topics. So the first topic is Digital Personal Data Protection Act of 2023. So the act for protecting personal data became a fundamental right under Article 21 in the K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India case. So Justice Shri Krishna Committee was formed to draft Personal Data Protection Bill in 2018, and after several attempts, finally in 2023, the President of India has granted assent to the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill of 2023. So this act regulates and controls the digital data of the citizens with special protection on children. So for the MSME sectors, some exceptions are given to use the digital personal data of the Indian citizens, and in order to improve the ease of doing business, the MSME sectors are given permission to use this digital personal data. Okay, so the corporate companies where the crucial information of Indians are present, like Google, YouTube, Instagram, etc., all these are categorized as a significant data fiduciaries and are taken proper steps to control and regulate the data. So under this act, Data Protection Board of India, that is DPBI, was established by the central government, and for some notified agencies, for research purposes, for startups, investigations, etc., the right on data protection of the individual will not apply to these cases. Okay, so these are all about the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. The next one is reforming India's criminal laws. So the old acts like Indian Penal Code of 1860, Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973, Indian Evidence Act of 1872 were framed more than 100 years ago during the British period. So to match the current sociological and technological needs, these old acts should be replaced. So in the Lok Sabha, 3 bills were introduced. One is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. This bill replaces the Indian Penal Code of 1860, and this bill removed the sedition law. It has defined terrorism and included terrorist acts, cyber crimes, financial scams, etc. are defined as the organized crimes under this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. And the next one is Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita of 2023. This bill replaces the Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973. So as per the bill, the trials will be conducted in electronic mode. Medical examination of the accused can be done on the request of the police officers, especially in the rape cases, and the personal information like fingerprints, voice samples, handwritings, etc. of a person can be taken without his permission, and any political influence will not be considered in the punishments, and it prescribes the timeline of judgments, investigations, etc. of the case. So this is about the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. Next one is Bharatiya Saksha Bill 2023. So it is replaced by the Indian Evidence Act of 1872. So as per the new bill, electronic or digital records can be provided as the evidence. So before, electronic and digital records were not provided, and so much procedure will be carried on to produce these records. So now directly the electronics or digital records can be provided as an evidence, and for same offense, a trial of more than one person can also be conducted, that is, a joint trials can be conducted. So all these new bills will be replacing the old acts if the bills are passed by both houses of the parliament. The next topic is Chief Election Commissioner and other election commissioner appointments, conditions of service and term of office bill 2023. So this bill tries to make some changes in the appointment procedures of Chief Election Commissioner and election commissioner. So for this, a selection committee was established consisting of prime minister, leader of opposition, and union cabinet minister. So before, in the selection commission, there was a chief justice of India in the place of cabinet minister, but now it is replaced by the union cabinet minister. That means the majority is the ruling party. So here there is a big loophole, that is the majority is the ruling party is on the upper hand in this, and the one is leader of Lok Sabha. And next is a search committee. A search committee is established which consists of cabinet secretary and two other members of the rank of secretary. So based on the recommendations of the search committee, election commissioner or chief election commissioner positions, for that positions, recommendations are given by the search committee. But even though apart from these recommendations, this election committee can add the other new members for appointing as chief election commissioner and election commissioner. So here there is the major drawback, because there is no balance of power. Okay, so the overbalance is on the ruling party. So these are the major loopholes present under this act. The next topic is aspects of election process and reform. So the report called Specific Aspects of the Election Process and Their Reforms was released by the Department Related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personal Public Grievances, Law and Justice. So some methods and recommendations to control the corruption, duplication of voter IDs, checking the accountability of politicians, and encouraging young politicians is needed. So for that, three main recommended aspects are: first one is common electoral roll, false declaration during filing of nominations for elections, and establishing parity between minimum age of voting and contesting in elections. So here, under the common electoral roll, all the voters in the list of the entire India should be one. That means there should be a common electoral roll. So here electoral roll means the list of voters, okay? But at present we have two separate electoral rolls. One is general electoral roll, and the other one is separate electoral roll for Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and state legislative assemblies. General electoral rolls are used, and for local self-government bodies, panchayats and municipalities, this separate electoral rolls are used. Okay, for separate electoral rolls, for panchayats and municipalities, separate electoral rolls are used. For Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, state legislative assembly elections, general electoral rolls are used. Okay, and next is false declaration during filing of nominations for elections. So if any politician files a false information regarding properties, income, etc. in the affidavit, then he must be punished under the False Information Act under section 125A of Representatives of People Act. Next is establishing parity between minimum age of voting and contesting elections. So the minimum age of voting is 18 years and the minimum age of contesting elections is 25 years. So there is almost 7 years age between voting and contesting in elections. So to encourage youth in legislature, the difference between voting and contesting should be decreased. So the minimum age of contesting in Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies is 25. Here in Lok Sabha under Article 84 and under Legislative Assemblies under Article 173, the minimum age is 25 years. For Rajya Sabha under Article 84 and for Legislative Council under Article 173, the minimum age is 30 years. So at present in Lok Sabha, there are only 2.2% of member of parliament under the age of 30. The next topic is Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act of 2023. So the articles of Union Territories are from 239 to 242. Delhi is a union territory with legislature. So it is added under the Article 239AA. So under 69th Constitutional Amendment Act, Delhi is given union territory status with legislature. So in Delhi, the services of public order, land, and police come under the lieutenant governor, and rest others come under the chief minister's power. So when the CM's power and lieutenant governor's powers collide, then there is a dispute between both of them. So again, a new dispute has arisen on the matters of control over the services. So they went to the court, the Supreme Court, and filed a case called Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi versus Union of India case 2023. So in this case, the Supreme Court has granted Delhi government complete control over the most of the services except public order, land, and police related services. So based on the Supreme Court judgment, the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Act 2023 was passed by the Parliament. So as per the act, the National Capital Services Authority was established. Okay, as per the act, the National Capital Services Authority was established, and its main function is to make recommendations to the lieutenant governor in some matters. And the other thing is, the secretary department was established to bring into notice any disputed issues, and the powers of lieutenant governor were increased under this act. The next one is no confidence motion. So no confidence motion is generally introduced by the opposition parties to check the strength and support of the ruling government. So till now, 26 no confidence motions passed and 25 of them failed. But one no confidence motion was passed in 1979, the Morarji Desai government, and the ruling party has resigned. Okay, so no confidence motion is mentioned under the rule 198 of rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha. So this is about the no confidence motion. Next is the mediation bill 2023. So there are many pending cases in the court. So an alternate dispute resolution mechanism should be present to solve or settle any civil or criminal disputes. So that is one way is through mediation. So to regulate and promote the mediation, the mediation bill of 2023 was introduced. So under this bill, to promote mediation council of India was established. But if it is related to any criminal prosecution, and if it is related to any cases related to minors or unsound mind, or if the case affects the rights of the third person, then in such circumstances, mediation is not fit. So mediation is one mode of alternate dispute resolution. The main acts under it are Arbitration and Conciliation Act of 2019, and next is New Delhi International Arbitration Center Act of 2019, and Commencement of Courts Act of 2015. The next topic is guidelines for celebrities, influencers, and virtual influencers. So the comprehensive guidelines were released for the influencer advertising in digital media by the Advertising Standard Council of India. So before advertising, the celebrities or influencers have to use or experience the product, and they should not make any false or misleading claims regarding the advertisements. So the advertisements should take the certificates from health and fitness experts and medical practitioners about the product usage. And next, for financial advertisements, they should be registered with the Securities and Exchange Board of India and should have a license from the IRDAI, that is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. So this is about the guidelines for celebrities, influencers, and virtual influencers. The next topic is Registration of Births and Death Amendment Act 2023. So it amended the old Registration of Births and Deaths Act of 1969. So as per the new act, Registrar General of India will maintain the national database of registered births and deaths, and certificates can be registered and delivered electronically. So these certificates will be interlinked to other processes like population register, electoral rolls, ration cards, etc. Okay, the next topic is Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill 2023. So as per the new bill, the Press Registrar General of India is appointed by the central government to regulate the press, monthly magazines, weekly magazines, and other periodicals. So books have been removed from this bill and is added under the Ministry of Education. So before, this act was called Press and Registration of Books Act 1867. So it was introduced under the British government. Okay, so replacing this one, new bill called Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill 2023 was introduced. So as per this bill, a person who is convicted in offences like terrorism or unlawful activities is restricted from writing any periodicals. For disputes regarding to the grant of registration or for imposition of penalty or cancellation or suspension of registration, we can make appeals to the appellate board of the Press Council of India. Okay, the next topic is Advocates Amendment Bill 2023. So touts is an important word under this bill. So touts is a third person who mediates between the normal people and the advocates by taking some amount. So the bill tells to provide the list of touts and restricts them from entering the court premises. So this bill was generally introduced to restrict and prohibit commercialization of judiciary.